My friends, hold on to your Canadian Tire money. It's already worth more than the English pound. They say a people get the leadership they deserve. Really? In Canada? We've never had a good prime minister, Milton Acorn once told me. But many times we receive messages from our leadership that we don't often take. Take R.B. Bennett, for instance. Please. He retired and went to England, they say. Tally-ho! When Prime Minister R.B. Bennett was thrown out of the door, he retired, was stuffed and mounted in the English House of Lords. There he learned the language quickly. He was an easy chap to train, and he liked to prune the roses while walking in the English rain. He was just a loyal Canadian over home again. Just a royal Canadian over home again. So when Canada's situation is looking rather bleak, the multinational manifest destiny gives our nose a tweak. Be fearless in the sellout. You can always take a plane and fly on back to England and be over home again. We'll just be loyal Canadians over home again. Oh, there'll be cricket games and the BBC, nice little biscuits and English tea. Only in Canada, what a pity. Together with the English, we'll throw out all the wogs. Then Canada will be back in England without the goddamn frogs. We'll just be loyal Canadians over home again. We'll just be royal Canadians over home again. So glad you chaps could make it back.
Oh, geez, thank you. I've soiled his armor. The leaving of the guard still happening.
I wondered if we could have
London
again.
Scotland.
Yeah, so glad.
Tower of London
So
again.
I've missed it. Terrible out. Beastly weather, they say, in that Canada place.
I'm Sylvia Tyson, and this is Touch the Earth. Cedric Smith is an actor, a songwriter, and a singer. He and his friend Terry Jones used to sing together in a group called the Perth County Conspiracy. The group broke up a couple of years ago, but Cedric and Terry still sing together on occasion, as they are about to do for us tonight on Touch the Earth. Here's Cedric Smith.
I was born right in the middle of the world's greatest war in 1943 in Bournemouth, England. My father immediately viewed me as being, mother wasn't surprised. I was certainly not premature. In fact, I was long overdue, understandably, as I refused to emerge from the dark and comfortable womb until some positive signs were exhibited that promised an Allied victory in the conflagration. And then the moon shifted, the tides turned, the axis tilted. The Hun was on the run, the Luftwaffe overdosed on Spitfire in a spiral of fuselage smoke. Rommel's remains, Panzers smoldered in the desert. There was growing talk in the delivery room of a pending Allied landing in Normandy, and it was upon this upswing in events that I chose to invade into a blinding white room that soon expanded to include a wonderful curving shoreline, donkeys on the sand, funny men, gray-flanneled, rolled to the knee, paddled about, or sank in creaking deck chairs, wearing sun hats made from old copies of the News of the World. On the very hottest of days, ice screams melted and overflowed their cones.
Travel activates the mind. A pilgrim I once knew would sail on foreign shores, familiar tides receding from the shoreline, carrying away letters I would write you while gazing out to sea, while sea stoned on the balcony, sea stoned on the balcony. 'Cause lover, you were more than a passing thought while I was away. Oh, lover, you were more than a passing thought while I was away. The pulsing throb of Africa has heated up my veins. Oh, the sun and the keef, the moon-spilled reef, so invitingly insane. It was like riding, like riding a horse without the reins. Oh, yes, riding, glory riding, like riding a horse without the reins. And pirate boats are flaming in the harbor. The sun's plunder sinks before my eye. Pirate boats are flaming in the harbor. The sun's plunder sinks before my eye. It's only a sunset sky. It's only a sunset sky.
Harvest comes, seasons go.
When the harvest comes on and the reaping begins, the farmer the fruit of the earth gathers in. He says that we'll work till the seasons go, and at night give a holler till it's all on a row, till it's all on a row. At night give a holler till it's all on a row.
Evening comes, so we go.
When the evening comes on to the bar we will steer, to partake a good supper and to drink a strong beer. If wishing could bring such blessings in his life, in drinking a health unto him and his wife, and to him and his wife, in drinking a health unto him and his wife.
Wheat is in, barley bound.
When the wheat is all in and the barley's all bound, success to the farmer comes from the ground. And this wheat stubble in turn it will sow, and so will continue till it's all on a row, till it's all on a row. And so will continue till it's all on a row, till it's all on a row. And so will continue till it's all on a row, till it's all on a row. So will continue till it's all on a row, till it's all on a row. So we'll continue till it's all on a row, till it's all on a row. So we'll continue till it's all on a row.
Cedric Smith. You and Terry have been working together. It's kind of an extension of some of the Perth County Conspiracy ideas, I guess.
Yeah, well, Terry, after the first few years of Perth County, Terry sort of became a part of that, and then we just gradually got working more and more together. There's a certain balance between the two of us that's sort of sweet and sour. Pork chop.
An imbalance between us, I think, really.
A yin-yang, sweet and sour
Yeah,
pork chop kind of feel between what we do. Terry writes very pretty songs, and Terry wrote a lot of songs when he moved out into the country in Perth County, and I think that had a lot of effect on your writing then.
Well, it provoked a different sort of writing because of the obvious country elements, particularly winter, the stark reality of a southern Ontario winter for a lad from sunny Virginia. Frost on window panes and wood stoves, having to draw wood, meeting neighbors and being in the winter. Some of my songs are actually collections of wintertime ingredients.
In the morning, when you waken, anytime you feel forsaken, I will love you, yes I love you. And if your heart's strong, we can't go wrong, we will be together. As the wheel turns, bringing changes, and our life plan rearranges, understanding, undemanding, this is the way that I'd like myself to be. If you see me going under and the sky begins to thunder, throw a lifeline at the first signs of my despair. If you do care, maybe someday I can do the same for you. When you've done chores and you've worked the whole day outdoors, friendly faces light your evening, bringing warmth and harmony inside me now. It's getting colder, build a fire, stack the wood and bring some cider. Sing the middle, bring your fiddle, and with a guitar I can't go far from the warmth of song and fireplace. In the morning, when you waken, anytime you feel forsaken, I will love you, yes I love you. And if your heart's strong, we can't go wrong, we will be together like one. It's a fine winter day in the morning, up and making my way before dawn. Now it ain't so much pay, well, what's making me stay from the breaking of day till the day is all gone? Well, I work in your mines, your mills and factories. I'm the right kind of man, pound for pound. But I'm broken and bent, and my money's all spent long before my paycheck comes around.
Riding with Joe Hensby in a 10-speed trailer. Down 401, the cab so high you're on a flying throne. No need to worry of traffic, it worries of you. The jungle trail's clear when the elephant comes. 30 tons of steel behind, 50 miles an hour. No need to worry if we got stopped sudden and all that metal came crashing through. You could spread us on a sandwich and we'd never know. You could spread us on a sandwich and we'd never know. He plays the gears like a man at a piano, cursing each time 2 or 3 seconds apart at no one in particular. He lives the road. He lives the abstract world of his curses. Sometimes I come into his consciousness, but not too much. But when that stream of vehicles clogs, we slow, sitting up there like conjoint kings. Well, someone's got to point the moral, and me, the official poet. Jesus Christ, Joe, there's $20 million worth of equipment in sight. How is it that we're poor? Call it a machine. Call it a beast. Call it a kind of a hand. For it becomes the extension of the man. And when it roars, it's we are the lion. And we live like lions, often moving, often waiting, often thinking, often waiting years to pounce. Oh, I work in your mines, mills, and factories. I'm the right kind of man, pound for pound. But I'm broken and bent, and my money's all spent long before my paycheck comes around.
It's a fine winter day and it's so filled with sunshine. Perfect weather for walking alone. Now most enviously, well, I long to be free, like a tumbling creek over stone. It's a fine winter day in the morning.
Cedric and Terry have had a long-standing interest in whales and a concern over the threat of their extinction.
Whales have 6 sonar systems, and they know that whales have total communication at 300 to 500 miles. Paul Spong thinks that they communicate ocean to ocean. I guess we're both pretty fascinated with them, and various things from Farley Mowat's Whale for the Killing book, and the Greenpeace people have reminded us that we're talking about a resource of natural wonder that is fast diminishing. I suspect that whales and dolphins quite naturally go in the directions we call spiritual. in that they get into meditative states quite simply and easily. What is this other mind, the mind that is in the waters? This enormous alien brains flowing in the ocean, giving rise to songs, dreaming, catching at the thin web of memory, instructing each other in manners and morals. What is in the mind world of a creature with a brain bigger and possibly more complex than ours, who cannot act out its will to change the world, if only for the simple reason that it hasn't any hands? I think the way to enter the mind of the whale is to enter the water, and there, in the strength and power of the sea, is the place to explore that mind.
I tell you, there was thousands of whales out there in the coast back them times. Times we'd be the only boat out there and we thought we was part of a great fleet. Now, we never heard today, they never heard it we. And I'll tell you a queer thing. So long as the whales was out there, I was never afraid. I never felt lonely either. But after times when the whales was done to death, I'd be out there on the penguin grounds and I'd get this feeling like the whole world was empty. Now, there's some that say that whales is fish. No, by they's too smart for fish. I don't mind but thinking they're the smartest thing in God's ocean. Aye, and maybe out of it as well. The Dolphin Knight, elected king for a day, or ace, jack, joker, or even wild deuce. No matter how the cards were dealt, he'd play them, or a throw of dice. But then analogy doesn't suffice to portray the fine stroke of play, the appointed one's discovery of what he really is, because he really wants. The ocean is hung with and crossed with schools, as a sky is with clouds, individual fish breaking off like rain. Though what we'd call a sky is definite as if honed. Indeed the sky, indeed the sky. Wow, a kind of sky is in the downward direction. Always a night, always a night, a pit in which dim stars wander. But darkness, it's not the same to a dolphin as it is to a sighted man. More like a blind man's, more like a blind man's. He calls his name, and everything in range calls its name back to him. Continuously and repeatedly, continuously and repeatedly, and repeatedly, and repeatedly. Like that, so of each other, for each other, willing to let another's thoughts be blood and drip into our nerves as into veins, would there be any end to us in space or time? and repeatedly, continuously and repeatedly. The world is full of cries and echoes, ours no less than the dolphins. The world is full of cries and echoes, ours no less than the dolphins.
This is the CBC. Knowlton's nowhere, Lloyd's lame, so here's George Finstead with The National. Good evening. Prime Minister Trudeau returned jubilantly from Washington this evening and told the press that the drain on Canada's natural resource reserves has stopped. They're all gone. The Prime Minister has appealed to all Canadians at one time or another. Norwegian sailors were sprayed with green dye today by the Greenpeace Foundation. Contacted in Oslo, their mothers have refused to nurse them. We'll be back with news, weather, and sports right after this message from our sponsor. Hi. We here at Imperialist Oil really do care about the North. We've got an investment up there, and we're prepared to do anything to keep it. Let us take you now to our research laboratories in the howling winds of Little Ukpik, Northwest Territories, where even now our scientists are working on all the future ecological needs of Canadians. Meet young Bobby Spinkter. He's a PhD from Michigan State. He cares about the North. Look at the way he's fondling that lemming, the national bird of Canada. You can tell that Bobby cares.
Sure.
And with our scientific research, we are developing oil-resistant ducks and fish that will learn to swim while floating on their backs. 'Cause when we go to the North, we mean to stay there.
Holiness of morning, I love you through sad eyes. Though you be a perfect ending for the darkened skies. Cloud formations move to prove there is no form that stays. Mankind weaves a wayward path, ignoring nature's ways. Oh, we are but the lightning, we're a glimpse of what is wise. In the ocean's holy foam, the whale to breathe must rise. Land all laced with poison is choking on the load. Mankind murders all his friends, he's soon to be alone. Nature wove together an intricate design. We have since unraveled it in all too brief a time, killing wolves and eagles for living as they must. It's on and on till balance fails as species bite the dust. Oh, in my mind I see no rhyme or reason to this maze, and in my heart I feel we are but slaves in many ways. The animals that were our friends before we taught them fear, haven't they a proper right to keep on living here? The epic of the endless seas is drawing to a close. Corporation factory ships deal the final blow, pledging falsely that their plunder serves the people's needs, while the bleeding oceans flow, a monument to greed. Oh, if by chance they ask you for approval of this mess, dear friends, tell them where you stand and do your level best to aid the cause for needed laws protecting all you see. Let's help to stop the senseless killing on the land and sea. Pray to God it's not too late to set the dolphin free. Pray to God it's not too late to set the dolphin free.
I first got interested in whales when I met in Vancouver, BC, a guy named Paul Spong, who's one of the key people involved with the Greenpeace project. Paul Spong told me how in 1956, 2 loggers were working on a hillside in British Columbia. They were skidding logs down the slope into the water. Noticing a family group of orcas, killer whales, passing below, one of the loggers deliberately let go a log which skidded down and hit one of the whales on the back, apparently injuring but not killing it. The whales went away. That night, as the loggers were rowing back to camp, the whales suddenly reappeared and tipped the boat over. One man vanished, the man who had let the log go. But the other man was not touched and survived to tell the tale.
Sun glare and sea pale as tears. One long hour we watched the black whales circling like dancers, sliding dark backs out of water, waving their heaved tails, just a knife edge this side of the horizon. Black whales, let me join in your dance, unencumbered by ego. Black whales, let me join in your dance, unencumbered by ego. Black whales, let me join in your dance, unencumbered by ego. And when I dance, let the earth take note, as the sea takes note of you.
Sitting here thinking about some real good times and some people that I used to know. Could they trust me now that we're years apart and our paths have all overgrown? A quiet winter in my mind, all alone beside the fire, casting crimson images upon my mental mire, till I've come to see what my friends have meant to me. Oh, I've come to see what my friends have meant to me. Now me and Stephen, we were two of a kind. We could never abide by the rules. That we were always in trouble didn't bother us none, for we felt we had nothing to lose. The summer humming in our hearts redressed all those youthful wrongs, and left us joining dazzled hands to dance the season songs. Now I've come to see what my friends have meant to me. Oh, I've come to see what my friends have meant to me. Now I've come to see what my friends have meant to me.
This has been Touch the Earth. My thanks to Cedric Smith and Terry Jones for their music and thoughts. Touch the Earth was produced by Paul Mills with assistance from Cynthia Stockley. Our engineer was Brian Wood. I'm Sylvia Tyson. Good night, and thanks for listening.